All right, we're playing another narrative mission here. We have 3,000 points, and it's a night fight battle zone. So, for this mission, let's start off with troops. I have 50 Guardian Defenders. That's 5 separate squads, 2 with Shuriken Cannon, 2 with Bright Lance, and 1 with Eldar Missile Launcher. I also have a 12-man Storm Guardian squad with 2 Flamers and 2 Power Swords in it. Then moving on to elites, we have 2 3-man units of Shadow Spectres, and we also have Fire Dragons. Now, I've used Shadow Spectres before. In my experience, they really need the Deep Strike option to be added to them. It is on their Phoenix Lord, and it looks like it's just an oversight, but in the meantime, I'm not using it without opponent's permission. I've got a 6-man Fire Dragon squad. The Exarch has a Fire Pike. They will be traveling in a Wave Serpent as dedicated transport. It has an upgraded Shuriken Cannon, and it has Star Engines, Spirit Stone, all the bells and whistles. For fast attack, we have 2 separate units of Wind Riders. One that is all Shuriken Catapults, and one that is all Shuriken Cannons. I'm not a big fan of using 3-man squads, but in order to make the detachment, I needed to break them up, same way I did with the Shadow Spectres. I also have a 7-man unit of Shining Spears. The way I prefer to run them, they have an Exarch who has a Star Lance. Moving on to heavy support, I have a single D cannon. I actually have not minded these too much. Despite the increase in points, I find them relatively effective for me. Then there's a 6-man unit of Dark Reapers. The Exarch has a Tempest Launcher. And there's a Night Spinner. Then for HQs, we have Mog and Ra, who is going to be supporting the Dark Reapers. We have an Exarch with Fusion Gun, who's going to be supporting the Fire Dragons. And then we have an Autarch on Skyrunner, who has a Laser Lance and a Fusion Gun. He is going to be clearly supporting the Jetbike units. And finishing up that detachment, we have 2 Flyers. Both are normal Crimson Hunters. The Exarch is 40 more points to reroll 1s to wound. Just not particularly enticing at that price. So, no-brainers just to take regular Crimson Hunters. And lastly, there is a Supreme Headquarters detachment, which is made up of 3 Warlocks, 2 with just Witchblades, and then 1 with a Singing Spear who's also on a Skyrunner. So he'll have his work cut out for him, and hopefully he doesn't melt his own brain. He has Conceal. The other 2 both have Enhance.
Okay, so latest army, 3,000 points. I'm doing an Imperial army. So 2 separate detachments. One predominantly Ultramarine with some Blood Angel Death Company in there, and the other an Imperial Guard force. So the 1st battalion is led by Knight Commander Pask and 2 commanders. I've got 3 infantry squads with Heavy Bolter, Grenade Launcher, and Vox. In fast attack, I've got 3 Hellhounds and an Armoured Sentinel with Missile Launcher. For elites, 2 Commissars with Power Sword Bolt Pistols, and a Platoon Commander just for that extra order. And then 2 special weapon teams, both with 3 Flamers, and they'll be in a Chimera. And then a Vindicator Assassin and another Punisher just to run with Pask. And in the 2nd battalion, I've got the Death Company Chaplain with a squad of 10 Death Company, as Ultramarine Chaplain with Ultramarine Assault Marines, 4 troops, 2 units of Intercessors, just 5-man squads, and a 5-man tactical squad with Flamer and Combi Flamer. I've got a Redemptor Dreadnought with the Heavy Onslaught Cannon, Power Fist Heavy Flamer, and leading and a unit of bikes with 2 Flamers, And leading the whole army as my warlord is Rabute Gilliman.
Alright, setup's complete, so we roll off for first turn.
Yep.
And I get +1.
6.
2. So, you definitely get first turn. I'm going to attempt to steal the initiative. Yeah!
Wow.
Ah. Okay. For my turn, I advance the bulk of my forces up one flank. I managed to take out an Imperial Guard squad for First Blood. I also killed about 5 Primaris Marines, and I put a few wounds on Pask, knocking him down to 5. Outside of that, I put a couple of wounds on a Chimera. I killed another Imperial Guard squad here, thanks to the tremendous shooting of Morgan Ra and the Dark Reaper Exarch. Other than that, I just sort of advanced my forces up, and now I am waiting for my punch in the face from Andrew for his turn 1.
Okay, so Imperial retaliation turn 1. But sort of after Dan's very threatening first turn, losing a few models, sort of a few of the chaff units. Not the most brutal of shooting phases. Managed to waste a lot of shooting trying to get rid of Wave Serpent. Even though he wasn't making his saves, I was just not really doing enough heavy damage to it. And sort of a few shots into the bikes, he was just making saves left, right, and centre. The man can make a 3 up, but can't make a 4 up. The only real bonus that came out of this corner was my Vindicare Assassin managed to kill the Warlock on bike, did just enough wounds, which has nabbed me Witch Hunter for this turn, and has got rid of his Conceal Bubble. And then after shooting phase, charged in, Gilliman finished off the Wave Serpent, forcing the Fire Dragons out, and a few guard, one of my commanders, one of my commissars charged in with him just to soak up some Overwatch, and did what I set them out to do, which was nothing, get in the way. Right at the start of this turn, straight away I knew I wanted to charge up my special weapon teams with Flamers and sort of take a chunk, hopefully a decent chunk, out of the Guardians. And after getting 11 hits with the Flamers and 3 hits with the Lasgun and 3 wounds, caused 11 wounds or some such. 14 wounds to the front Guardian squad and managed to kill nothing. That 2-up, that extra save from cover, I just tanked it all on the heavy weapon team. That's sort of very demoralising for the turn. The Hellhound fired up, tried to kill some of the Shadow Spectres, to the same result, did nothing. and then everything else around that side. Was lucky to get rolled a 6 for mysterious objectives, so got to do 2 mortal wounds to Morgan Ra, sort of for the bombardment. But yeah, just moving everything up. Okay, and for Paskin Friend in the back corner, sort of ended up a little bit bottled in and sort of wasn't really sure what to do. I was like, alright, I'll fire them all at a Crimson Hunter. And did nothing. Not a thing.
All right, turn 2 is a very big turn for me. I managed to, with the combined shooting of the bikes in this corner, I managed to kill off the commander for the Imperial Guard.
Yeah, sort of one task.
I was thinking of the one on foot. He's in HQ. The commissar and the
Just a company commander.
yeah, company commander. And then after that, the bikes took down Gilliman, and that was all during the shooting phase. The fire dragons took out Pask and his friend. Amazingly, neither tank blew up, which was pretty huge for me. The combined shooting of the rest of my army, or almost the entire rest of my army, took out the Chimera that was here, and then the Guardians managed to mop up the squad that popped out. I was so happy at first my D-cannon hit with a 4-up to hit 2 times, and then on 3s to wound, failed to wound both times. So it was, it gives and takes away. The Shadow Spectres managed to kill off 4 bikes who haven't taken a morale test yet.
No.
And one unit used the pulse type, the other unit used the heavy flamer type. I think they're all very situational. That should be 7, so he's fine. Yeah. The Crimson Hunters, one managed to do some damage on that dread that is fast approaching my lines, and the other finally killed off that Chimera that nothing else could bother to damage. So we will see how the next turn goes. I'm up to 4 points now, thanks to Warlord and First Blood from the first turn. And Andrew is poised to strike back. He's got some more units coming in, and he's got 1 point already.
Imperial turn 2. Started off deep striking my 2 assault units onto Dan's back end of the board. Hopefully run amok, and luckily my Death Company squad and Chaplain managed to charge in and lop. What was it? 5 hull points or five wounds off the Night Spinner.
Yeah, so 6.
Six off the Night Spinner. So a little bit of positivity there. And on the other side, my other assault squad deep struck in, attempted the charge, failed both, and unfortunately lost 2 to Overwatch. And my Redemptor did a very pitiful round of shooting. Sort of taken a wound off here and there. I killed a couple of Shining Spears, but then his glorious charge into one Eldar jet bike, and he killed it 6 times.
Because that one Eldar jet bike passed 3 5-up saves from the shooting. So.
Yeah.
And then these boys.
And then still going strong in the center of the board here, my Hellhounds. They decided this turn to turn their attention onto the Crimson Hunters, and have knocked 2 wounds off one and 7 wounds off the other, with some good rolls, some bad rolls. But yeah, it's still going strong. That's a positive.
So this is one of the most demoralizing, not bad turns I've ever had. You'll notice here that there's a Crimson Hunter, an entire squad of Fire Dragons, and an Autarch with Fusion Gun that are all point-blank range with that Redemptor Dread. They all shot at it. They all hit it. It only had 7 wounds to start.
5.
5 wounds. No, it had to be more than that because I did 4 with just the fusion guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was 7 because both Bright Lances that actually hit and wounded it did 1 damage each. So something that started out in 7 wounds took all of that firepower and is still standing. Because I can't roll higher than a 1, and I only get to reroll the 1 time a turn. That was... That made me sad for my whole turn. The jet bikes over here managed to kill off 5 Imperial Guardsmen. They passed their leadership test with a 1, because that's what Andrew rolled for every morale test this turn. And the bikes themselves knocked down that Hellhound from full power to, I think, 6 remaining wounds.
No, from 9 down to 6.
From 9 to 6, yeah. So they did super. And this Crimson Hunter, its engines smoking, the cabin filled with darkness, managed to hit 3 times against its target, and on a 5-up to hit, then managed to do pretty much nothing after that. Yeah, that was the single wound, despite 3s to wound, and then 1 damage. I'm just getting agitated thinking about it. The 2 squads of Shadow Spectres worked together to kill off the Sentinel, to both units. But still not bad when you consider it 6 wounds off something that's toughness 6. So, not too shabby. The Dark Reapers continue to be amazing, and the best unit I have on the field. They took out about 7 of the Death Company.
Yep.
Just completely vicious. The last guy died from morale. And the second unit of assault troops were whittled down pretty much just by the Guardians, and Morgan Ra, I think, killed 1.
Oh, yeah.
Not a ton of stuff got killed. The Guardians mostly fired their heavy weapons at the Redemptor, and if they hit, they failed to wound, or if they wounded, he passed his save. Including the last Shuriken Cannon, which wounded 1 time on a 6, and he made his 6-up save every time.
Okay. Imperial turn 3. I thought I was having a really, really good turn until Dan started making all these saving throws. But the Redemptor has redeemed itself for this turn after sort of not doing all that amazing turns 1 and 2 by annihilating the Fire Dragon squad. So it sort of did its work there. Around in behind the big building here, combined fire from 2 Hellhounds, tactical squad, has taken out another 2 Shining Spears. Another 2 or 3?
3.
Another 3 Shining Spears. So hopefully, whittled down that unit's effectiveness now. Fired on the Shadow Spectres again and achieved nothing. And on the other end of the field, my Assault Marines and Chaplains slowly working their way through what should have been easy pickings in Guardian squads. But yeah, sort of slowly getting there. Managed to get 1 more victory point this turn. But yeah, don't know how good turn 4 is going to go.
I cannot remember the last time I played a game this frustrating. Uh, that chaplain is still at full health.
No, he lost a wound.
Did he?
Yeah, he lost 1 wound.
1 wound? Okay, he lost 1 wound after being hit by a full barrage from a Night Spinner
Twice.
twice. He also took 2 hits from a D cannon at point blank range. Made his 4 ups. That was awesome. So yeah, he's sitting pretty. This chaplain eventually died. The Warlock first smote the Assault Marine that was there. And then the combined firepower of Morgan Ra, who was particularly grumpy, and the Warlock assaulting took out the chaplain. Morgan Ra knocked him down to 1 wound, and then the Warlock took off the last wound in combat. Okay, the Redemptor Dread is finally dead. It took all the firepower from my healthiest Crimson Hunter and stripped off the last wound, so it's finally dead. This Crimson Hunter, with the help of Guardians, managed to kill off the last Chimera. No, killed off a Hellhound, which was already down to 5.
I forgot to do my Hellhound's attacks.
Oh,
Did it on camera.
Hellhound's attacks.
3 attacks. Hit once.
Of course it did. Wait, isn't it D3? Oh no.
No, it's still on 9.
9
1 wound.
1 wound. Let's see. Can I make a 3 up?
Yes,
Oh my god, I actually made a save. I can't make a 7-inch charge with my Autarch with a reroll after getting a 5 and a 1. Can't do that because I just reroll 1s. I'm doing that all game. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. I did manage to kill the biker after shooting at him with far too much firepower. Oh my god. It's like making me angry. Okay. On to the Imperial turn.
Okay, so Imperial turn 4. Not really much to report on this turn because I didn't really have much left. Basically, starting down in the bottom left, all that was there is a commissar and a platoon commander who between them managed to kill a Shadow Spectre. And the right at the bottom, just that guard squad sort of managed, they killed another Spectre. The Vindicator Assassin after 2 turns, managed to kill a warlock. And in the top right, my chaplain, still going strong, refusing to die, charged the D-cannon and took 2 wounds off it. But I'm going to have to concede 5 points to 12 Eldar victory. Oh, can't catch a break. Well, another disturbing Eldar victory.
Yeah, for a game where I was ahead almost the whole game, I don't think I've had one as frustrating as that. It was just, both of us, our dice rolls were infuriating. We both, turn 3, neither of us could kill anything. We'd wound 8 or 9 times, and then the other person would make 9 saves.
Yeah. Well, my chaplain.
Yeah.
Commented throughout it. It just, my Death Company chaplain. Just, I wasn't even going to the 6 up don't cares. It would just, just 3 ups, 4 ups, just boom, boom, boom. Making 8 or 9 at a time. It just ridiculous.
And to the point that I was shooting anti-tank weapons at him, and he was just shrugging them off.
Yeah.
Small arms fire, large arms fire. He didn't care.
I may have to do a Blood Angels army. It may be a sign. Forget Ultramarines.
He was so good. And that was your new unit.
Yeah.
He made that unit just because I had to fire so much stuff at him. He totally, on his own, because they all died very, very quickly.
Yeah.
The Dark Reapers were amazing, all game.
Every game, really.
Yeah, but this game they were efficient as hell.
Yes.
They were killing Primaris Marines early, and then they were taking out just anything that was in the area. Assault Marines. They were great.
Yeah.
But I hated that chaplain. I hated your Dread, the Redemptor. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hit him with bright lances. I managed to wound him, and then I'd roll a 1 on the wound. He absorbed an entire squad of fire dragons and an Autar, all with fusion guns, at point blank range.
For 4 wounds.
Re-rolling 1. He suffered 4 wounds from that. A 2 and a 2, and a 1 and a 2. And then I couldn't wound him. I couldn't hit him. And then the plane that needed 5s to hit 3 times.
And wounded once.
It was on 2 wounds. I rolled a 1. And I'd already used a reroll that turn to reroll a 1 into another 1.
I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be
No,
laughing
because the same
because I
thing
lost.
happened to you.
Well,
the
yeah.
same thing happened to you.
Yeah.
It was that game. It was so frustrating.
But I think that mission, the night fight, the whole game night fight,
We actually weakened it a little bit so that we could actually shoot things.
beyond 36
Yeah, because
inches,
otherwise
yeah.
we would be looking at 36 plus at -4.
Yeah.
And -3 for 24 to 36.
Yeah.
And so we did tone it down to just add the additional from 18 to 30 to 18 to 24. We added an extra -1.
Yeah.
So that toned it down. That helped it from being just silly.
My guard would have been useless.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I think.
Although they didn't really shoot at anything that far away.
No.
Because
you want them close.
Yeah.
I think I just had the heavy bolters in there, just a bit of a deterrent. Just
Yeah.
stay away. We can kill things.
And you had 3 Hellhounds. We knew what the battle zone was going to be. We did not know the mission choice. So that's why we had to kind of make some changes on the fly.
Yeah.
3 Hellhounds. I hate those things. But
my rolling doesn't help that opinion.
Well, yeah, you roll 5s and 6s pretty much every time you
Yeah.
fire one of those things. Any one of their template weapons.
Yeah.
That said,
Mm.
when you shot at the Guardian Squad,
Don't talk about it.
I
Turn one.
thought an aneurysm was going to burst in his head.
I nearly rage quit. Models were nearly thrown into a bucket filled with petrol and set alight. It was
14 wounds.
unbelievable.
The weapon platform tanked all of them. Didn't take a single wound.
Just, a little, I'm like, it's just a little cheap, just little special weapon team, 3 flamers, 3 las guns. Just, I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'm just, I'm going to ruin one of his Guardian squads and, sort of feel good about turn 1. And it did nothing.
Now, usually when I do that with platforms, I will roll a 1 and a 2 on the first 2 rolls, and that's it. But this time,
Just nothing.
I didn't roll lower than a 3. I didn't even need the 2 up from the cover. It's just, it was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there were moments like that all throughout the game.
Mm.
We were both so frustrated. It was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
But this game is going to be a lot more fun to talk about to other people than it was while playing it.
Yeah.
Because it just, nothing worked the way I wanted it to ever.
Well, everything, you're sort of planning it out. You're going, okay, this unit hits on this, it wounds on this. And then you're like, oh, hang on, it's 13 inches away. So I'm hitting 15% less shots.
Yeah.
Or worse. It just sort of,
Not being able to overwatch characters when they charge you because they're further away than another unit is stupid.
Absolutely.
Overwatch should be given some type of special dispensation to allow it.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's like, oh, okay, that squad's 8 inches away. And, prime example, sort of, you've done it to me many times. I did it to you in response. And it's just, my chaplain is 8.25 inch away.
Yeah.
So you don't get to Overwatch. You've got 2 flamers. You've got all these weapons in that squad. It's just, they're just standing there going, duh.
Yeah.
I can't see him. It's, no.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That is... It makes Overwatch, when a character is involved, almost useless.
Yeah. And especially if you fail that little bit extra charge, and then you're just like, oh, well, the squad's going to get shot to pieces anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. It's... that is one of those things that is going to... It hangs with me after every game. Even in games where we benefit from it, like individually, it's still frustrating to be on the receiving end of it.
Yeah.
So much so that I'd just prefer it not being that way. It's also easier to remember. You don't have to do weird measurement stuff. Just make a dispensation, please. What was your favorite unit this match?
I made the joke. What was it?
I thought you said it was going to be...
Well, the Death Company chaplain, just for basically controlling that bottom corner for, turns 3 and 4. It was just, it stopped the D cannon from firing down, from firing at the Redemptor. It stopped the Shadow Weaver from firing down there.
Yeah.
The rest, if it was just that squad, or even if it was a squad of Terminators, they'd be dead. They'd have died. Turn 3. But just, I could have put a 10-man squad of Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators down there, and you'd have shredded them.
Yeah.
Because, well, I can't make a 3 up to save my life, but, 4 up involved, done.
I stole the initiative, which I don't know if it was all that game-changing.
With how poor both of our first turns were.
Yeah.
I think we worked out you killed just over 200 points. I did roughly the same.
The same, yeah. Yeah, you killed just about 300.
And, you know, even just that was demoralising, and it sort of put you on a bit of a back foot.
Yeah.
For future turns.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still an issue getting your Guardians up on the platform, getting them onto the Sky Shield, basically. That just, you controlled the whole centre of the board. I couldn't move a squad within 12 inches of that platform because I knew they were dead.
Yeah.
They were gone.
Well, so much of what I had with the bikes were dependent upon that Warlock giving them -1 to be hit.
Mm.
And you executed the Warlock almost first thing.
Yeah.
And then you didn't shoot at them again.
Yeah.
Like you got rid of the -1, and then you didn't shoot at anything in that area.
Yeah. I think that was, I know that was a big mistake that I'd done, but I figured Pask and his Punisher buddy, Pask in general would, actually knock down one of those Crimson Hunters a bit more.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't, I was just like, I'll keep the -1 and, sort of go the heavy bolters from the second one. And then, firing it at the Wave Serpent.
Mm.
And it was just sort of, and then, I felt like I'd wasted all of that.
So the Wave Serpent had everything except the crystal targeting matrix.
Mm.
So he had -1 to hit it, and that is the only reason it survived the first turn, because I couldn't make a 3-up or a 4-up save. Just couldn't.
Mm.
In fact, that and the Spirit Stones, because I think it stopped at it survived your shooting on 2 wounds. It stopped
at least half a dozen wounds that it saved.
Yeah.
At least half a dozen.
So, which was great, because it kind of made up for my inability to roll armor saves. Yeah, the Serpent Shield knocking things down, because I took a ton of damage from 2 damage weapons.
Yeah.
And they became 1 damage, and then ignoring on the 6. Really, really saved me. It was a pricey unit, but it was worth it. Got that squad where they needed to be. And even though they got wiped out by your Redemptor and got embarrassed by it at point blank range, they still managed to finish off Pask and blow up his buddy.
Yeah.
And that was huge.
That in itself more than pays for the unit and the XR.
Yeah.
And then forced, my Redemptor would have been much better served charging towards that chunk of Guardians in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he got in there, just not good night Irene, but close.
He'd have done some damage.
He'd have done some really good damage. And that's sort of I had plans for it at least one of the Hellhounds, and the Fire Dragons, they ruined it.
Yeah.
It just so I mean they more than made up for their cost.
The Shadow Spectres were okay. They were kind of a pain in your ass. The best thing for them was when they got in cover, because that 2-up save just makes them really, really tough to deal with. And both weapon modes did okay. I think it makes the unit very flexible.
Yeah.
But you have to know what you're shooting at when you use it. The Sentinel was more resilient than I expected.
They
took both
are.
squads to take it down.
Yeah, they are, and sort of they're such an underrated unit. I mean, they're not amazing.
Yeah.
They're great at getting in the way.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. They're fast. Sort of you put a heavy weapon on them, you can't move them.
Yeah.
Because you instantly hit on 5s. It's just.
The Shining Spears were very solid. Very solid. They actually did quite. It's weird because they didn't do too much work finishing off units. They did do a stunning amount of damage to a guard unit and one of your Primaris squads, was it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the first Primaris squad.
Yeah. And outside of that, when they made it in combat with Guilliman.
Yeah.
They did what they had to do. He only had, what, 1 wound left? 2 wounds left? 1
Two.
wound left.
Yeah, 1. Yeah.
But they did what they had to do. And they shot the crap out of him in turn 2. Which, it was really important to me to kill him in the shooting phase. Because if he had made it into the assault phase, then, and I killed him then, he still has that 4-and-up chance to come back effectively right at the start of your turn.
Yeah.
Because it's right at the end of my assault.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything to him. So with the shooting phase, he had to come back right then before I made any assaults.
Phase,
and so, I got in there and did what had to be done. That was very handy.
Yeah. Well, the only bonus what you do, sort of, you kill him in the assault phase and make sure that you spread. So there's nowhere for him to come back. And it's like, oh, well, he can't come back.
Yeah.
He dead.
Yeah. That was something I kind of could have done. I think I had enough models in that area.
Yeah.
But overall, that was... the game felt like it started out really slow, and then it almost got out of hand at the start of turn 2.
Yeah.
With the death of Guilliman and sort of the collapse of the 2 tanks, that flank that I pressed really hard on, finally gave way in turn 2, and that's when I felt like the game suddenly got much faster.
Yeah. I mean, just time-wise, this took quite a long time.
It did. We did stuff for launch and started a bit later, but it probably took about 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was we had so many models.
Yeah.
Like, it just setup took a long time.
Very infantry heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was cool, actually. I liked having that many Guardians on the field just because it looked impressive.
Terrifying to live. It's like, they're just Guardians, but holy crap. You look down and it's like, I haven't made a dent in them. It's turn 3 and they're all still there.
Well, I got that card about you not being within 12 inches of the center. And I got it, and I kind of laughed, and I'm like, yeah, you'd be a madman. you would be insane to be within 12 inches of 40 Guardians that were sitting there.
Yeah.
And then I had 20 in my backfield just hanging out waiting for your assaulters to give them the worst position I could on their deep strike.
Yeah.
Which I think helped.
Yeah, well, that worked perfectly.
Yeah. You failed your charge on one side, leaving you really out of place.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you made your charge, but I still got to fly out of combat, and you weren't in great position to help with the collapsing flank of your army.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you covered that very well.
Yeah. Overall, it was a really fun game. Very little psychic activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost missed it. But then again, when we have it, it's like we can never pull off powers, so...
Well, I was in absolute shock. Turn 1, his psychic phase. Just this guy's going to do conceal, bang, it goes off, and I'm done. What?
Yeah, a million Guardians, and I had...
Did you break? What's happened?
No, it's because the Autarchs give a reroll of 1 to hit. I don't have to cast anything, and that's 50% of guide.
Yeah.
Guide's at 7, and can be denied. So, and it works on multiple units.
Yeah.
And Malganrod did the same thing for the Dark Reapers. So just sitting in with them, he was a beast. I didn't think he was going to be quite as awesome as he was. He absolutely punished some of your units.
Yeah. Just sheer volume of shots.
Yeah. And with the negatives and -1 or 3.
Yeah.
He did a tidy amount of damage. I was really impressed with him. Even though I was worried he was going to die just because he took the mortal wounds from the...
from the mysterious objectives. Yeah.
Sabotage objective, takes mortal wounds. He gets an objective, rolls the 5 up and
Did 2 more.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just waiting for something to happen. I thought your reverser was going to take him out.
Yeah, and then I'm like, nah, that's it. Psych is going. I got Witch Hunter on turn 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. I'll go for that. Turn 1, sorry,
Turn
got
one,
that.
Yeah.
Bang, killed it. Turn 2, went for the other one.
Mm.
Went for the other Warlock in.
See, turn
In
1, you
amongst the
actually took a
Guardians.
lead on me. Because I didn't score any. Or I scored. No, you tied me. I scored First Blood.
Yeah, one apiece.
Forgot about that because I actually killed the Guardsman squad. 2 of them.
Yes. Yes.
Which, I mean, it feels good. And then when you're told, oh, that's like 35 points. Like, you're just like, oh, because I fired 5 units at them.
Yeah.
You know, it was totally worth it. It was like 8,000 points of shooting, and I killed 35 points worth of guys. Like, yeah. No, it was a great game, though. Will be much better to tell people about later.
Yes.
And hopefully it's better for you guys and less frustrating than it was for us to play it.
Yes, get some amusement out of it. You know, sort of feel our pain. It just, you know, when you're sitting there, you got 2-3 command points left, and you're like, it's only the start of my shooting phase, but, you know, my Vindicator just rolled a 1 to wound, and I just need a 2, so I'm going to spend it. And he rolled another 1, and he's, and that's it. That's the whole turn. You can't. Focus.
Out of my 13 command points, I'm almost positive 6 just in this game were rerolling 1s to 1s.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Just killed me. I really came close to throwing dice. Alright, till next time.
Yeah.
Good game.
Good game. I love losing. Great.